I will start with Mr. Yarendis. Mr. President, I have heard in the corridors here at our conference that the management of ELATE by the PEP has been very good so far, but what lies ahead? Are there risks for this special account?
Ευχαριστώ για την ερώτηση.
Thank you for this question. It's a good question. So you asked about any risks for ELAPE. Only in the imaginations of certain people, because the numbers, or rather the reality, is based on numbers, and the reality is known to the market players. The reality is that 8-9 months of delay in the remuneration of RES producers, from 8 to 9 months, we are now at 20 days. We could have even less days if we didn't have the two operators, ADMIE and the DIE, that have to provide the measurement results by the 15th of the next month. If we had those results by the 31st of each month, then we would be able to provide the remuneration on the very next day. So all these numbers are reflecting the new normality. We have come back to the new normal, and we have proved that any discussion about deficits in this account, ELAPE, any discussions about risks that are put forward by some either people or websites, this is a sort of rhetoric that is really the result of a very vivid imagination. There is no risk linked to the special RES account ELAPE, and this can be proved by the reality that I would also like to illustrate in another way. You know, there is a discussion about renewables and their contribution to the Energy Transition Fund. The energy crisis created a need for the share of renewables to rise, and there was a 1.1 billion surplus a year ago. Let me now give you some further figures that speak for themselves. Revenue from pollution. In the previous years, those revenues would go to ELAPE, but now they went to the Energy Transition Fund, 2.935 billion. This money would have gone to ELAPE, but it was channeled to the Transition Fund. Then the withholding mechanism, that was this withholding from surplus, 3.610 billion, multiplied by 80%. This was money that was channeled to renewables generation, even large corporations like the PPC. This money was channeled to the production of the PPC, and all this money was RES money that was channeled to the Energy Transition Fund. This is 1.1 plus 2 plus 9, so it's all in all 6.9 billion in the last years. This was RES money from the ELAPE that was from the special RES account that went to the Energy Transition Fund. So if you have, or when you have an account that has been feeding this Energy Transition Fund, and I repeat, this was a result of the circumstances that we experienced in the last 2-3 years. As a result of the energy crisis, the Ukraine war. So when you have such figures driven by renewables and fed into the transition fund, this proves that all those speaking about deficits are rather speaking out of their own imagination. Thank you very much for this data, because this is really very hard. This is hard proof.